It is Halloween, and we are here back for some more NBA betting. We sincerely apologize for some technical difficulties, which have delayed the beginning of the stream, but we are back. We are here with PipsNBA for some more NBA selections after a pretty good Friday that we had. We took the weekend off, as we normally do. We go live every weekday, usually 11:15, and we thank you for your patience during this time. Got a couple wins there. We'll recap that in just a second, but the biggest topic on my mind for today, October 31st, is the Golden State Warriors in their defense of that NBA championship are 3-4. They have now lost back-to-back games to the Hornets and the Pistons. Pips, what have been your thoughts on the Warriors this season?
So yeah, they lost back-to-back games to two of the five worst teams in the league. The Hornets best players, so it's even crazier when you think about it. They went to the overtime and then lost, and then came back and lost to the Detroit Pistons, who had like 5 loss games in a row, and then win against the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this season, their defense isn't great. They allow so many points. They allowed even like 109 points to the Los Angeles Lakers, worst offensive starts in the history of the NBA. And yeah, they allow and handle the transition well. And when they are not shooting great, they lose. Last two losses, they shot. And when the shots aren't falling, they don't have the rim pressure, they don't have the defense, so things
Yeah, and
things don't
sorry,
work out.
your connection's just cutting out a little bit. So apologies to the viewers as well. I'll just kind of reiterate your stance there. Defense has been a big problem for the Warriors this season. I actually have some numbers up here. Defensive rating, which is not a perfect metric for statistics here, but defensive rating measures the amount of points you allow over 100 possessions on average. Golden State, 23rd in the NBA at 115 for their defensive ratings. And just to put you in the category of the only teams that are actually worse than that, you have the Brooklyn Nets, who are the worst in the league. Then you have the Pistons, Grizzlies, which is a weird one. But then you have Pacers, Rockets, Kings, and surprisingly, the Nuggets. We are earlier into the season, but defense has been an issue for this Warriors team. Wasn't last season because Draymond Green was playing like a defensive player of the year almost unanimously until he got injured. And offensively, it's not making up a lot of the points there. The Golden State Warriors are 19th in offensive rating, which is the same metric for offense, at 111. Net rating is therefore minus 3.9, and that's been the source of their issues. And going into the season, I had my doubts about this team really being able to follow it up. I thought they would regress a bit. So far, we've seen that. But Pips, do you think that there's any recovery for this team after the rough start?
Can you just repeat the question? My connection is.
I was just saying. So we've
like
talked about
losing it.
how poor the Warriors have been. What is it going to take for them to get things right and start winning again?
You have like guys, Draymond Green and Kevin Looney scoring 10 points a night. Skins, Clay, Curry, and Poole, they need to score 90 a night so things can work. And Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole are currently underperforming, so they just need to step up. That's like Poole also needs to step up his defense. He ain't scoring, so he's not doing well. And Klay Thompson just ain't the player he once was on both ends of the floor. Yeah, it's up to Klay and Poole to step up the game because Curry is playing unbelievably good. Wiggins is also playing above expectation. Klay and Poole and the young guns like Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody, they have the entire season and the reps to get there. So I don't think Golden State Warriors will be in a huge troubles.
Okay, so just from the connection issue, again, I'll just reiterate the stance there. Klay Thompson, not quite the player he was. Curry's doing a lot. Wiggins doing a lot, but not coming from a lot of the other sources. And with some young players supplementing their core, maybe we'll take a bit of time. But let's move into the recap from Friday, where we did go 2-1, got some good wins. Pips, because connection issues, I'll just recap all the plays here. So we had a bit of emotional roller coasters here. We had a couple ends of the spectrum. So first play, Tyrese Maxey over 18.5 points. I said I like it, even though it was against the Raptors. And yeah, Tyrese Maxey, it was either, I think it was right at the start of the second quarter, Tyrese Maxey goes over, ends with 44 points on 15 for 20 shooting, started 10 for 10 from the field, went 9 for 12 from 3. The Raptors, I mean, they let him get hot, and then they overhelped Harden. They doubled too often and left weak side corner threes wide open. Multiple Sixers took advantage. Tyrese Maxey was no exception. So that was the absolute no-sweat winner. The sweaty winner we got was with the Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart, we had under 6.5 points and rebounds. I think he ended the game with 15, but then the worst thing you can possibly get when you bet an under is overtime. That's what we got. Marcus Smart, though, still only got 16. So he went under by half. We managed to get the win there. And then the losing play was the SGP with Banchero and Oubre. Banchero, dynamic as ever, went over. Oubre, we said he's going to have the volume. Just has to hit the shots. Well, he got the volume. He took 16 shots, only made 4. And unfortunately, that is the losing play on those 3. But we are going to try again here today. We are going to stick to one specific play that we like here, and we are going to go to a interesting matchup here. It shouldn't be, but it is. The Pacers visiting the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, obviously, this season are not playing up to what they want to be. They are 1-5, and like I said earlier, they have the worst defense in the NBA, and offensively, I'm actually just trying to find the offensive numbers for them, if it matches at all, because defensively, they have a defensive rating of 121. Offensively, it's actually not so bad. There are question marks about Ben Simmons. Offensive rating, they're 14th with 112, which is not making up for the bad defense. But in any sense, Pips, what do we have as a pick for this one?
So for this game, we have one interesting spot which I think bookies are way off. I actually bet him the last game by myself, and they just reopened that, and that's Miles Turner over 2.5 blocks and steals combined. His average over the last 3 seasons is close to the 4 a game. He cleared this up in like 80+% of the games of the last 3 to 4 seasons. He's constantly going over this line, and I just don't understand why the bookies put it on 2.5 when it's obvious that it should be at 3.5. In the first 2 games of the season, he had 5 and 5, and yeah, that's just missed line and huge value in there, and I think he should cover this pretty easily. He covered this line in both games in the first half. So I think we are in a great spot here.
Yeah, I agree. Miles Turner, I think there's some adjustment here and maybe just a little bit of lack of information in regards to his injury. And that could be why the line is set where it is. But Miles Turner has been cleared to play here. He is healthy and he is going to go for this one. So this might be one where we have it at a nice over 2.5, minus 130. It could change later. I think I could see this moving to minus 140, minus 150, maybe even bumping up to that 3.5 at maybe positive, like even odds.
Yeah, it's actually close. That minus 170 last game when I bet it, and he played 32 minutes last game, so I don't see any problems with his injuries. He actually had the best player on the floor, scored 27 points and 5 blocks, so he was awesome, and I think he should continue.
And as a Miles
Really
Turner
good.
fantasy owner myself, I can attest Miles Turner has been great in the blocks department especially, but also with that 27-point game. He got me a nice little chunk of points for my team as well. Miles Turner's a good player, and also maybe just an added little edge. The Lakers could really use a player like him, and I think he might actually want to go to LA. So the better he plays, maybe the better opportunity he has of getting a trade that he wants going to the
Yeah.
Lakers. I'm not sure why anybody would want to go to LA right now, but I guess Indiana is not much better of a situation.
Yeah.
So
And he's also in his contract years, so he should work hard for his
yeah, another
numbers to look great, so he can get a good extension.
Yeah, another good reason for Miles Turner to show up tonight. That is going to be our one pick for today. Just to recap again, Pacers at the Brooklyn Nets, Miles Turner over 2.5 steals plus blocks. We're getting that at -130 at DraftKings. Remember, this show typically goes live at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, every single weekday. We apologize for the technical issues for Pips today, as you can see with the camera work as well. But we still got the pick out. We still got the great conversation in, and we're going to be back on time for the rest of the week. You can catch us on YouTube and Twitter live, and also you can catch us now live on Twitch at The Board NBA, twitch.tv/TheBoardNBA. You type that into your URL. You can check us out there, and you can follow us there if you want to watch it there. Also, after the stream goes live, you can catch this anytime on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, but also in podcast form. This is available on Spotify, and starting today, it is also available, finally, on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts as well, other than those two, you will also be able to find Pick and Roll for more NBA betting from Pips NBA. My name is Jacob. You can find me on Twitter at Jacob Gramegna, and you can also find me on YouTube at Amateur Sports. You can find Pips, of course, on Twitter. We're going to be talking more bets tomorrow. We hope to see you there.